We are set. Game 2 of this day-night doubleheader at Coors Field between the Rockies and the Atlanta Braves. The first game going to Atlanta by a final score of 4-3. So the Braves now have a 14-5 record. The Rockies at 13-6, looking to earn the split on this very chilly Tuesday afternoon. And welcome, everybody. It's actually warming up. It's up to 30 degrees. Game time temperature earlier was 23 with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman. Hope you got a sandwich, a little hot chocolate, and you're ready to go in game 2. Tell you what, Atlanta, we knew they could hit the long ball, and they put some on display in the first.
Yeah, they really did. And again, this is a very powerful ball club that can leave the yard at any time, 2 through 8. And this guy's just been on fire. I mean, I can't believe up to now what he's been able to do, leading all the major leagues in home runs right now. 32 on the season, the most in the major leagues. Some of these pitches, I thought Jeff made some pretty good pitches. These guys practice too. They're pretty good hitters. Uglo went deep. You've seen that do that an awful lot. The young catcher got a hanging breaking ball from Jeff and hit it out right away. It's about 20 rows up out in the left center field. This is a ball club that you've got to make pitches on. They're going to be aggressive. You can strike them out if you hit your spots. And Scahill was obviously very good in that first ball game when he went 3 shutout innings, just 1 hit given up. And that's what you have to do, pound the zone.
I don't know if I've ever seen 2 masked men go deep before in the same game, at least. The pitching matchup this evening will feature John Garland, who's been terrific for the Rockies, the veteran right-hander, against a young kid who's one of the better prospects in all of baseball on the mound, Julio Teheran.
Well, Tehran's one of those guys that just throws hard. He's got to figure out how to pitch a little bit, and I think that'll get better for him. But John Garland has been very good for the Rockies. He even billed higher than what anybody thought he would do. 86 pitches the other day, working 7 innings. This is a guy that didn't pitch at all last year, folks, and he's come out and dominated during his outings here. He showed a very good breaking ball. He's shown a good sinker. He has very, very good command, and what he wants to accomplish is a lot of ground ball outs early in counts. He doesn't like to work deep into counts with each hitter, and I think when he is down, I thought the other day in his ball game here, we didn't televise it, but one thing he did very well is he had great command of his off-speed stuff early in counts, and he got early swings and weak ground ball outs.
Yeah, he's on his game when it's 2 and 3 pitch at bats, and he gets his team to the dugout very quickly. When we come back, we'll hear from Walt Weiss on Game 1. Rockies and Braves getting set for a frigid nightcap. 4-3 in the opening game. Sun is shining, temperature 30 degrees for this nightcap. Welcome back upstairs. I'm Drew Goodman. Atlanta is very formidable. We talked in the first segment about how they hit the ball over the wall, but they also have one of the best pitching staffs, not only rotations, but bullpens in all of baseball. Makes it difficult to figure a way to beat this club. That is the job of Walt Weiss, and for more on that, let's check in with Mark Stout. Mark?
And Drew, in that opening game, the bullpen of Atlanta, 3 more scoreless innings. They had the lowest ERA in the league at 1.22. That went down, and that prompted Walt Weiss to say this after game 1.
The plan against the Braves is you want to get out front and make them chase you, because they hand that ball off to the bullpen. They're tough.
They've got one of the best closers in all of the game. Craig Kimbrell in game 1 got behind in the count on Michael Cuddyer, struck him out. Then William Rosario comes up on a first pitch curveball. He gets a knock, so he's on. Next batter, Jordan Pacheco, goes 3-0 on him and then strikes him out looking. And then Rosario, attempting to steal second, was thrown out to end the ball game. Kimbrell with his 8th save of this season. And when you look at his numbers in his career, this is pretty scary. He has allowed 7 total doubles, 1 triple, and 6 home runs. And Drew, even more impressive, if he has 2 strikes on a batter, the batter's average is .083, and he has struck out 295 batters when he gets 2 strikes on them. Almost a guy that you can't even get to. Drew?
.083. That's amazing. You don't want to see Kimbrell. The Rockies will try to jump out early on Julio Teheran. It's the Rockies and Braves. Come on back to Coors Field. Game 2 is next. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your 7 neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. John Garland, 6'6", 210-pound veteran, taking the mound. Looking to go 3-0 for the Rockies on the young season. And his first subject will be Ramiro Pena, the second baseman in Game 2 for Freddie Gonzalez's Atlanta Braves. The Southwest batting order for Atlanta: B.J. Upton, Justin Upton 2 and 3. There's Freddie Freeman just off the DL. Juan Francisco, Gerald Laird, the veteran catcher, and Drelton Simmons, Jordan Schaefer, and Teheran. So we're ready to go. Ramiro Pena steps in. And the first pitch is a strike. That sinking fastball at 86 miles an hour.
Garland the other day worked brilliantly in the cold weather, 84 to 87, mostly 85, 86, but a lot of sink, very good command of his off-speed pitches.
And he pounds the zone again. It's 0-2.
Take a look at the numbers. They are very good. 2-0. You see the innings pitched, the earned run average, the whip down to 1. Garland this year has averaged 72% of his outs have come by the ground ball. His career average 58%. Well above that this year.
And a broken bat, base hit that's going to turn into a double for Pena. So a leadoff double for Ramiro Pena in just his second start of the year.
0-2 pitch, trying to bury the breaking ball on the back foot. Really got him well out on his front foot. You see way out there, and it just went down and golfed this pitch right down the right field line, shattered the bat in half. And you just watch it come right at you at home, right out over the head of Pacheco. That hook spin on it, going away from Kadire and right. This is where Garland has really done a nice job of containing a ball game. What I mean by that, runner in scoring position, nobody out, difficult to keep him from scoring, but I'm not going to have a crooked number. I'm not going to have a big inning. Now, what you like to look at from Garland is that he will utilize his fastball about 50% of the time. The curve and slider play a huge role in his success. Not much with the cutter and changeup. 3-pitch mix for the majority of the game.
BJ showed bunt. I don't know if it was a bluff or not. Showing it again. That's a strike. He's been scuffling at the plate, just a 155 average. He was 0 for 5 in game 1.
And obviously he can run. With the runner at second, bunted hard up the third baseline. Brignac got to come get it, or Garland's got to get off the hill in a hurry.
They have speed up top too, George, with Pena and both Upton brothers.
They do have some speed. I think that's why you probably saw the bunt. Of Upton thinking about, you know what, Brignac's going to play back behind the bag, which he is about 6-7 steps. Might take advantage of that. Try to get a first and third situation.
And that's on the outside corner for the strike.
Really good cutter.
1-2 on BJ. Upton has been in the American League his entire career. And that is gloved nicely out at second base. Reed Brignac, what a play. And he produces the double play, flipping a Rutledge.
Well, and I will say this, Josh Rutledge, when that ball was hit, broke immediately. I mean, that's a heads-up play for a kid playing second base. As soon as the ball was hit. Now you're looking at Brignac. He is 6'4". 2 strides, catches at the end of the glove, and on the move make a snap throw over. Pena sees this ball's not going to get through, and he's hustling back. Very quickly done by Brignac and Rutledge.
Off the bat, George, I know you probably thinking the same thing I was. Here's another 2-out hit off the end of the bat, or 2-strike hit off the end of the bat.
Yeah, just to be able to reach out and hook the thing again. Well, here's danger.
Yep.
Talking about Upton, what a start he's off to.
He's reached 10 home runs faster than any Brave in history. He's behind 0-2. I know that because in the notes today it said he had reached 9 home runs faster than any Brave in history.
Just add 1 and start a new ball game. 9 pitches, 8 strikes for Garland.
There's the cutter. Game 1 in his first at bat against Jeff Francis. Like a changeup, and he deposited over the center field wall. Paying away with a fastball, and it's 2-2.
And Wally Bell's behind the plate. Very good umpire. Very good ball strike umpire. Mike Everett at first. Marty Foster out at second. Lance Barrett at third.
3-2. Boy, that was a big line drive double play. Leadoff double. You just lost a tough ball game 4-3. You don't want to fall behind early. And inside, like a changeup that got away. Tonight's defense is brought to you by the Excel Energy Company. We bring you the energy you need so that you can live the life you want. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. EY's in left for Cargo. Dexter Fowler in center. Kadyr's in right. Pacheco, Rutledge. Brignac at third. Tulowitzki at short. And Torrealba is catching John Garland. Now you have Freddie Freeman at the plate. 1 for 3 and a walk in his return to the active roster in game 1.
Freeman 0 for 3 against John Garland.
On the ground to second. Good pitch, and Rutledge will flip to George Pacheco. Nicely done by John Garland. Here's that play again. Brignac stabs a line drive and a perfect feed. Temperature 23 degrees game time in game 1. It's warmed up a little bit. It's 30 degrees right now. Eric Young Jr., we saw him in the first game as a pinch hitter. Grounded out sharply to third in that one at bat. He'll lead things off for Walt Weiss in game 2. Our Southwest batting order will feature Dexter Fowler behind him. Tulowitzki will slide up in Cargo's spot. Then Kadir batting cleanup. Jordan Pacheco in an RBI spot. Josh Rutledge, Reed Brignac, Yorgi Torrealba, and John Garland. Julio Teheran is the pitcher. He was the organization's pitcher of the year, George, in 2010, 2011. He has been their top prospect for 3 years running.
Well, part of that is his velocity and everything that kind of goes along with him. I mean, he'll throw the ball extremely hard. Unfortunately, it gets hit at times. But if you let him get past the first or second inning unscathed, then it's difficult to get him. He seems to settle into a ball game very well. Left-handers have hit .433 against him. Right-handers .222. A year ago in AAA, Gwinnett 26 starts, 7-9 with a 5.08 earned run average.
He had a great spring. He has been doing a little more of that, George, taking something off his fastball to try to get ahead. Given up a lot of home runs.
Yeah, right now he's third in the league with 5. Hefner with the Mets leads it with 7.
B.J. Upton makes the catch.
Well, like a lot of young kids, you wanted them to develop fastball command, and they carry that over to the big leagues, particularly when they have a good one. 67.5% of the time, the fastball, curveball, occasional changeup, but not really.
Duran is from Colombia.
You know, the other right-hander that was out there with him, Delgado, ended up getting traded over to the Arizona Diamondbacks in the Prado trade, and he's in Reno right now pitching. And they just felt like this guy's arm a little better than his.
Dex had a couple hits, including a triple in that first game. Rockies had only 6 hits in game 1 and only 1 after the 4th inning. It's pretty much the same deal for Atlanta. Both bullpens pitched exceptionally well. 3 strong innings from Rob Scahill, 2 very good innings from Edgmer Escalona. 1-1 on Dex, off speed in there.
Both of the Rockies' top minor league teams are postponed tonight. Tulsa got a heavy rainstorm this afternoon. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow, and the doubleheader scheduled in Colorado Springs was postponed.
Two on Dexter.
Trying to blow him up inside with a fastball. There's that good heater that runs away at 92.
2 years ago, Gwinnett County had an enormous year. He's 15-3. Mr. Triple. And that's pulled toward the hole and on through a base hit. So a 1-out single for Fowler. And that'll bring up Tulowitzki. Tonight's defense is brought to you by Excel Energy. Make the choices that fit your life, and Excel will provide you the energy to power it. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Both Uptons out there. Jordan Schaefer's a center fielder by trade, so they have a lot of speed out there. Juan Francisco is at third base, Simmons at short, Pena and Freeman right side, and the former Tiger and Texas Ranger Gerald Laird is behind the plate. He has caught all of Tehran's games. Breaking balls in for a strike. And the reason for Freddie Gonzalez is pretty simple. He doesn't want to have 2 rookies out there, Gaddis and Tehran, working as a battery.
Right, it's a young kid. I mean, put him out there with a veteran catcher and see how it works, and you know, see if you can bring him through some of these ball games he's had difficulty with.
One chop foul. Again, no Todd Helton here in game 2. He wants to play. The forearm feeling a little bit better. Swung the bat this morning. But Walt Weiss said, nope, he's not getting in there. Oh, Dexter took off, and now he's got to beat the throw, and he did. Dexter started, realized that Tehran never lifted that front leg. By the time Tehran picked, Dexter just flat out beat the throw. It's a stolen base.
By the time he picked over, I mean, Freddie did all he could do at first base. Freeman to get rid of the baseball to be able to fire it. You see here, he gets that big jump and then the throw over. But the throw was not on the money either. It was low and off to the shortstop side. I mean, Dexter, at that point as a pitcher, if you're watching at home, run right at the hitter. I mean, at the base run. And then unload the ball at shortstop and let short and first handle the rundown.
So an RBI out there for Troy. 0-2. Third bag for Fowler, who's looked to be more aggressive stealing. Anyway, 2 outs, and that'll bring up Kadire. Cuddyer 1 for 3, a double and a walk in game 1. Be interesting, George, how this kid deals with the extreme cold. A lot of Atlanta's minor league affiliates are also in warm weather climates.
Very warm weather. Gwinnett's obviously right outside of Atlanta. Rome, Georgia. They're all there so far, though. He's been handling things pretty well.
He's throwing a lot of strikes, that's for sure. And this is sharply hit, but it was right where Pena was stationed. So the Rockies leave Dexter Fowler in scoring position. We go to the second inning, no score. Atlanta will lead things off against John Garland. Rockies fans, this season, we want to answer your questions on air during Toyota Talk. Text Toyota followed by your question to 720-720. And watching the fifth inning, as many are answered as we can fit in. First-time texters are automatic winners. You'll get a free day pass to the Denver Zoo, courtesy of your neighborhood Toyota stores. We invite you to visit the amazing animals at the Toyota Elephant Passage. That's in the fifth inning, Toyota Talk. Francisco steps in. Guy with a lot of pop in his bat. In fact, a week ago on Tuesday, George, he hit 2 home runs in a game. And the Rockies don't do this frequently. They employ a shift. He tries to bunt his way on, kind of like Cargo will do from time to time against the shift. And John Garland hopped off the mound like a young man.
He is a young man.
Compared to you and I, you're right.
Yeah.
Good play by John.
Yeah, you better believe it. I mean, thinking about this, he got to push it up there a little bit farther up that line. Garland gets off, really collects himself fundamentally sound, and snaps that throw over to first.
This is Gerald Laird, who last October was playing in the World Series with the Detroit Tigers.
Speaking of the Tigers, they signed Valverde today to a 1-year contract, and he's their closer again.
Funny how that works, huh? Is that coming full circle or what?
Came back and got him, huh?
Rondon not ready to go. And they were struggling. This is Tulowitzki. Unfortunately, he had Laird running. Nice play by Troy. 2 outs. George, when John Garland's on, it's not just ground balls. It's really mishit ground balls like that one. Just
soft ground balls. I said earlier, career-wise, 58% of the time ground ball outs. This year, well over 70%.
a mishit ground ball that's going to go foul. And it's 0-1 on Andrew Simmons. Andrelton was 0 for 4 in the first ball game. He did have a walk.
I vote we call him Simmons.
We can do that too. That's a base hit. That'll bring up Jordan Schaefer.
Ground ball, fly ball ratio, you can see this. I mean, just amazing. 34-13. That's terrific.
Come on, John, you got this guy. He's not a hitter. Run two, make close.
And Schaefer lines this to right. And 2 on for Julio Teheran, who has handled the bat decently so far.
What if he was signed as a shortstop, Doug? Has he got any at bats, maybe?
I don't believe
I looked
he
in
does.
there and I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't believe he does.
I looked in their book and he's been a pitcher pretty much the whole time. You're thinking in Rockies history, Ismael Rogers was a guy they signed as a shortstop. You know, converted to a pitcher when he couldn't hit the slider.
Well, the Rockies' current closer was originally a shortstop.
Rafael Betancourt.
You know, as a pitcher, Jordan, you had, you know, a few handfuls of at-bats in the big leagues that, you know, they're guys you face, there's a pick play on, they got a shot at him, they get him!
Boy, how nice
They
is
run
that?
the daylight play, and Tulowitzki applies the tag on the kid Simmons. And instead of Teheran hitting here, he'll lead off next inning. Good call. Brignac, who wants tacos? Remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. Rockies will play a day game tomorrow. We'll have it right here on Root Sports. We'll be on the air at 12:30 with our pregame show. And And first pitch at 110.
Tell you what, she's bundled up, or he's bundled up. They're warm. Guy's got a sweatshirt on going, it's football weather. What's wrong with you ladies? Come on.
Do you know what? Even in the football season, this is cold.
Check with him in a little while. He'll have something on his head. Ooh, I like that hat. That one right there. Nice hat. The one to the right.
Yeah. That looks like it's out of Fargo. That movie, George? It's a good film.
This one right there. See that? Right there. Yeah, that one.
Telestrator freeze?
I guess so. Yeah.
One strike on Pacheco, who had a single and an RBI in 4 at-bats in game 1. This kid, when he's gotten into trouble, as Frazier alluded to, it's typically been in the first couple of innings. Just 22 years of age. He's a native of Colombia. He's one of 4 Colombian-born pitchers ever. Ernesto Frieri with the Angels, terrific late inning worker. Jose Quintana, who's in his 2nd year with the White Sox, and Emilio Fruto, who pitched a few years ago. This ball is lined to left, and it's going to get down in front of Justin Upton. So it's a leadoff single for Jordan Pacheco. George, this is a feeling out process. While we were in the clubhouse between games, there's tape running on Tehran, and Chris Warren puts together a great scouting report. But until you get in that box and actually see movement on fastball, how sharp the curveball breaks, it's still a learning experience.
No, absolutely it is. And that's why they say, you know, when you get him a little deeper, you got to go in and figure out what guys have, what they do. Pacheco off the end of the bat, single. Now build on that.
They almost got him. They did.
Man, how many? That's 3. Dexter was picked but was safe. So I mean, crazy.
Yeah, you're right. Pacheco's typically not a guy you want to see get picked off because he's not a base stealer.
No, that was snapped. Well, you know what? I'd like to look at that again. I want to see where Freeman's foot is planted, his right foot, because it looked like he turned it in front of the bag. Because you know what happens? A lot of times first basemen will put their foot right in front of the bag, so when you come back, you're right on top of it. I mean, it might not have happened. I'm looking to see where see where his foot is? He had him beforehand, but see where his foot right in front of the bag.
That's something else. We're talking about learning pitch movement with a guy you haven't seen. You can hear, hey, he's got a pretty good move, but until you're out there.
He had him out anyway, about 4 or 5 inches. I mean, one of the best right-handed moves in the last 18 years is Jamie Wright. He used to be a former Rocky.
Still pitching.
Tampa Bay now.
Rutledge has hit 5 of his last 6. Still hasn't caught fire yet. 2-2. What you're hearing, that's a base hit for Rutledge. What you're hearing is Rockies fans trying to drown out the Brave fans who are doing the Brave tomahawk chop. Well, it would have been back-to-back singles. Instead, now it's a 1-out knock. Rutledge at first, Reed Brignac. And see what Rutledge, who is a base stealer, learned from that pick on Pacheco.
More than likely first and third. Ball hit to the right side. Pacheco doesn't get picked. This is where Brignac has been outstanding. 6 for 9 with runners on base. When they're empty, 1 for 15.
That gets away, and Rutledge will move to second. Who they give that error to? Freddie's probably got to catch that.
Yeah, he should get it.
That ball was airborne. It wasn't thrown in the dirt.
It's typically a very sound defensive team. Almost looks as if Freddie tried to snatch it early. You know, just kind of reached over and missed it. Watch again. It's on the other side of his body. Yeah, he just missed it. Hit off the end of the glove.
Inside, 1-1 on Brignac.
Wouldn't it be something if that's the only error Freddie commits all year? Probably not going to happen that way, but.
That zipped right at the bottom of the strike zone. That was Kimbrel-esque. Not quite the same velocity, though he can run it up there. We've talked about it. But that was right at the bottom of the strike zone. That was a good pitch by Julio Teheran. And this ball is gloved by Freeman and a good feed to Teheran. 2 outs. Let's see how Teheran works to Torrealba with first base open, 2 outs, still very early in the game. We've heard at times he nibbles, even though he's got outstanding stuff. We haven't seen that at all tonight. In fact, in 27 pitches thrown, he's only tossed 6 out of the strike zone.
He's been right around both sides of it, too, with his fastball. Laird's moved both sides very well. And right now, what all he's focus is to keep that run from third with 2 outs. Behind the count confidence in the slider, too. That's big.
And it's popped up and playable right around home plate. So the Rockies get a runner to third base. Can't cash in Josh Rutledge. We'll go to the third, scoreless. Game 2. To you by the Ford Mustang, all legend, zero compromise. Ford Mustang, go further. By Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, and Mark Stout from a very cold Coors Field. Hot chocolate sales, I'm sure, are brisk tonight.
Got the whipped cream with it, a little popcorn. What else would you want at the yard? Oh, Dougie, I know where you're headed.
Where's he going?
Get some more hot chocolate for you and me.
That a baby. Dougie, you're the best. If Frage takes a shot at you tonight, I have your back.
Stop it.
I have your back.
Hey, don't open that can of worms up. You're talking to one of the best needlers in the locker room of America. Don't start.
Julio Duran will lead things off, and then the top of the order against John Garland. Looking to win his 3rd game this year. Garland pours that over the outside corner.
Both of these guys really are controlling pace and rhythm. I mean, they're flat getting after it. Get the baseball, throw the pitch.
And on the ground is short. Tulo's got it. 1 out. Tonight's sideline report is brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company. Secrets in the fire. It's a ready-to-eat superfood. Mark Stout, what do you have?
Drew George behind me. Michael Kadire grew up in the Virginia Beach area with the Uptons. Listen to what he said. He goes way back with BJ and Justin.
I've known BJ since he was about 7 and Justin since he was about 4. And, yeah, they were always baseball rats. You know, they were always around. Manny, their dad, was coach for me in high school. And, you know, BJ and Justin were always around the park and playing. And I was actually a third base coach of one of BJ's AAU teams one time. So, you know, I've been around them a lot. And I knew they were going to be great players. And, you know, they've flourished.
A third base coach for those guys. And Drew George, you know that there were some great ball players from that area.
Oh, well, it started with Michael Kadire, the string of first-rounders out of that Chesapeake area in Virginia, Mark. And then, as you know, it continued with Ryan Zimmerman, with the Upton brothers, and a fellow by the name of David Wright. And you talk about some great talent coming out of those areas. And there's some great stories because Michael has a business, a hitting cage. That's a comebacker. Ramiro Pena's retired. A hitting cage business he owns with Justin Upton back in that part of Virginia. And the best story that's been often told, but certainly bears repeating for those that perhaps have not heard it. Michael's wife, Claudia, was one of Justin Upton's teachers in high school.
Okay, honey, you teach them English and math, and I'll teach them to hit line drives.
I'll teach them
Pretty
baseball.
Simple.
So BJ at the plate, and he hits the ball on the ground. 1 hop to
Dougie, was
Brignac. That's a
3
classic
pitches for
John Garland inning. How many we had, Dougie? 6? 6-pitch inning. That'll work.
As we go to the bottom of the third, John Garland heading to the plate. In his career, some of it in the American League, he has 7 RBIs as a hitter. Here's your AT&T trivia question. What Rockies pitcher has the most RBIs in the franchise history? You see some of the names on there. You can guess from those 4, and one of them will get you the answer coming up, guys.
Can I guess right now?
Yeah.
See, I don't know if this will work because he didn't play here long enough, but Mike Hampton hit 7 home runs one year.
That's a good guess, obviously, because he can hit the long ball, but I'm going to give you a hint. That's incorrect.
That's not
Well, that's not a hint. That's just
telling me
I
wrong.
eliminated one. All right.
That's not a hint. That's like one of my teachers saying, guess what? You got
wrong.
a Zippo on that.
Now you got a 33% chance of winning.
All right, Mark, I like the question.
Was that Ithaca math?
Yeah, that's Drew and I. That's our education.
That's right,
yeah.
Mark and I. Same distinguished university back east. They call it a college, though, George. You went to a university.
Why do they call it a college? Because it's
It's
small.
smaller. Here's the 0-1 on Garland. And it's on the ground at Pena. 1 out, and that'll bring up Eric Young Jr. He hit a fly ball to center field. So if I asked you, George, which I'm about to do, who has hit leadoff more this year, Dexter Fowler, Eric Young, how would you respond?
Eric Young.
You're right, by 1. 10 games, actually now 11, and Dexter's hit leadoff 9 times. I never would have guessed that. I would assume, Dexter has had most of the starts, but Walt Weiss has done a really good job of getting EY in the lineup, a guy that he felt just had to play because of his ability, his speed, his toughness. He's hit some hard luck lately, George. He's hit some balls hard that have been caught up against the wall, on the warning track.
Against the Mets, he had a couple. Yeah, let's start to even out.
Oh, yeah. This is over the mound. It's going to be a problem.
That's how it evens out.
Yep. Once that cleared Tehran, you're not going to throw out Junior. So a base hit for EY with 1 out.
Slap and run it. That's all you can do with it. Hard sinker down and away. See, slapped that right out of the reach of Tehran and no play. There will be a few picks at first base. We've already seen enough of them for one thing tonight.
I'll tell you what's interesting, George, is EY is the Rockies' best base stealer. And he's learned from what happened with Pacheco. He's got a conservative, by his standards, a very conservative lead. So he's showing respect on Tehran's move. And pitch to Dexter's down low, ball 1. Dex pulled a single through the hole on the right side. And it was picked off, but ended up stealing second base. Being throw from Freddie Freeman to the shortstop, Simmons.
Gerald Laird has thrown out 1 base stealer out of 9.
Pretty quick feet.
Well, that's the secret for a right-hander, is kind of a semi-balk move. If you can lift the heel of that front foot, because that's what base stealers will look at, and once the heel comes up, you're committed to home plate. Well, if you've got quick feet, the heel comes up, you pop your feet around, and a lot of times you'll catch them leaning or making a certain jump, and then you have the chance to pick them off.
And you were right-hander. Did you learn that in pro ball? Somebody teach you that at OU, high school?
I learned that in high school, actually, from my high school coach. I like the split screen.
That's a base hit to center field. Junior has it in front of him, and he's going to have to stop right there. One of the few times that will keep Eric Young from going first and third on a knock.
Now, Dexter,
2 on
stay hot.
for Tulowitzki. Yeah, Dex has 4 hits in this doubleheader.
Yeah, stay hot, Dex. I mean, that's a good hard line drive right back up the middle. Change up, a pitch he doesn't throw often, but they're trying to get him to throw on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. You say Dexter really stayed on that pitch well. That late kip, able to balance himself on the backside, help keep his hands back, drove it into left center.
Tulo struck out his first time up. No score. We're in the bottom of the third. Rockies lost in the afternoon 4-3. Tulo got a pitch, George, out over the plate. It's the kind of pitch we see him drive out of the yard to right center field. This is the second time Tulowitzki's hitting the 3-hole. Again, Cargo's just fine. Just going to give him the evening off.
.92-mile-an-hour cheese away and had a little late run to it.
Tulo hitting .386 coming in against right-handed pitching. Great speed on base. And this ball is lobbed to the shortstop, and he caught it in the air. Tried to.
They called infield fly rule.
Yeah, that's what they did. And
I think they thought more of a line drive type deal.
yeah, and that's the right call by the second base umpire.
Right there,
Marty Foster. You got to protect the runners.
Well, the thing is, what they were trying to do there is say it's a line drive and I dropped it. I want to go ahead and turn the double play ball, but because of the height of the ball,
Well,
they were able to do it.
Yeah, at that point, all he has to do is walk over and tag Young and step on the bag. And
Right.
He's inning over. 2 outs, Kadire at the plate. Kadire grounded sharply to second his first time up. Dexter at second base. Pena was positioned right up the middle. That's where he is right now. Toward the hole and on through. Here comes EY to the plate. No throw. Rockies take a 1-0 lead. Michael Kadire coming through. 14th ribby for the Cuddy man.
Trying to run the fastball in, and they got it there. But boy, look at Kadire really clear that front hip out of the way so he could get the bat head on the baseball and keep it in fair territory, not have the bat shattered. And then there's just no way you're going to get EY at the plate. Nice job of hitting.
Let's see how they position Pena here, George, because Pacheco's very adept at shooting the baseball through that right side.
Open up a bigger hole for him, he'll take advantage of it.
And there's a large opening right now on that right side.
Tell you what they've done, and this is all Gerald Laird, the veteran catcher. Instead of first pitch fastball every time, he's given confidence to throw the slider. The opposition has hit .308 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, including Kadire's base hit. It could get worse after this at bat by Pacheco.
On Pacheco. Single his first time up. Fowler, great speed at second. Kadire has the average, maybe slightly better than average speed, but he's a great base runner.
Kadire talked about it a couple of times in Minnesota, close to the 20-20 club, 20 home runs with 20 stolen bases. The other one that he really wants to get into is 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases, 20 doubles.
Maybe this is the year.
438 average for Pacheco of late, 7 for 16.
Center field, B.J. Upton waiting. Rockies get a run though. They piece together 3 base hits. Kadire drives in the first of the night. For the Atlanta Braves. Are you the ultimate Rockies fan in the great state of New Mexico? Show us why. You are the ultimate fan by taking a picture through Instagram or Twitter and tagging it with a RootFan NM hashtag. For official rules, visit facebook.com/RootSportsRM. 4th inning, John Garland out of Valencia, California, 33-year-old. #1 pick of the Chicago Cubs back in 1997, went 10th overall in that draft. The White Sox, the Padres, the Angels, the D-backs, and the Dodgers.
134 wins. To take a year off from competition and have 4 starts in spring training with Seattle, 1 with the Rockies, it's like he never missed a beat when he won 18 games in back-to-back years.
About 27 pitches through 3 innings. I mean, that's been him in every start.
Last start was 58 pitches in 5 innings. Better number.
Rutledge makes the catch. Justin Upton on 1 pitch is retired.
Got a very slow heartbeat, meaning he really slows the game down for himself and for the defense.
Remember we were chatting, George, that you're surprised when you look up Garland's stats and you see he's just 33, won't be 34 till late September, and you say, how can that be, man? This guy's been around forever. Well, he made his debut at 20.
He went quick.
Freddie Freeman with the shift on. This is the first time the Rockies have employed it with Freeman.
And they've left Tulowitzki on the left side and put Brignac up the middle. See, Tulo's still playing over here, so no left sides there.
Tied up on that cutter or slider underneath the hands.
Yeah, you get way up on top of the cutter and then you get this reaction. You get a late dive on the baseball.
He went back in there again.
and it's in far enough. Freddie's standing right on top of the plate, so you got a ball that's moving in on you like that. You go to swing it, and it's on the barrel, then all of a sudden it's on the hands.
Got the pain away, and just missed. 3-2. Overhead look.
It's off the plate, not by much.
And he loses Freeman.
That's one thing Garland does not like to do, and that's walk people. Well, the Camarena Loft, located in center field, kind of right center, is a great option for your group. Available for up to 95 people. It is a lot of fun to go out there. We have broadcast out of there on numerous times. We'll again this year. 303 Rockies or Rockies.com to reserve for your group to come out.
Juan Francisco against this shift tried to bunt his way on. And it was an okay attempt. That time it would be particularly good play here, George, in that if he lays a bunt down on the left side.
Well, if he does it like last time, he's out. And they got a double play. They got a double play ball because you got a guy that can't run at first base.
But there's only one guy who can possibly field it, not Garland.
As he did the last time. That's the danger of doing it like that. If you don't get it pushed over far enough, it can turn into a very quick double play.
Francisco with the Reds last year. Last September, he hit a home run they'll talk about forever at Great American Ballpark. He hit it out of the stadium, 502 feet.
He can do that.
Actually, that's it last year. That's 2 years ago in September.
Well, it could have been 12 Septembers ago. 500 something feet's a long ways. And I don't care what park you're in.
Well, to give you an idea, the longest home run ever measured here was Mike Piazza. What was it, Dougie? 496? It's 496. Deep right field's got a chance. And it's going to get out of here. 2-run home run for Francisco, his 4th of the year. He's going to get to the dugout, and Freddie Gonzalez is going to say that's a lot better than a bunt. 2-1 Atlanta, their 4th home run in this doubleheader.
Right out of the hand, trying to throw the slider. It appeared in or cutter. And the Mike Shaw Subaru, you can see that ball just stayed elevated though. Never got underneath the hands. For Garland, just the 2nd home run given up in 22 innings, 22 and a third innings.
Yeah, I mean, coming into the ball game, the Rockies done a great job keeping the ball in the park. But that's, as I said, the 4th allowed in this twin bill. Jeff Francis allowed 3 in 4 innings. Two balls and a strike on Gerald Laird. The Braves with 34 home runs now. Tulowitzki, a base hit for Laird. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Angelton Simmons, base hit to left, his first time. 1 out, man on, 2 runs in for Atlanta. They've taken a 2-1 lead here in the 4th. That home run total actually should have read hit and run, and Torrealba's throw is low. And a stolen base for Gerald Laird, who does not accumulate many of those.
Well, the only reason he got it was the distraction of the swing. Look at his swing. I mean, it dives down. The catcher falls in front of him because of the swing. You saw immediately Wally Bell say safe sign, meaning that he did not interfere. And this ball kicked up and almost took off Rutledge's head.
To third, Brignac holds the runner, 2 outs. That'll bring up Schaefer. Yeah, the home run total actually should have read 33 for the Braves. They lead baseball. Rockies at 28. Surprisingly, George, the Yankees are at 28. With all those guys who hit the long ball missing, Teixeira, Granderson.
Well, Swisher over in Cleveland now, hit a lot of home runs.
Obviously, A-Rod.
Alex is out of there. Jeter hits his fair share.
Jordan Schaefer ripped a single to right his first time up. Pitcher on deck, first base open. See how Garland works to Jordan Schaefer. Schaefer picked up on waivers by Atlanta, was released in the offseason by Houston. Went to Houston in the Michael Bourne trade.
I'll tell you what, Houston and Toronto, they claim everybody. And then they designate him like a week later. That's a pretty good pitch there. Garland did not like Wally Bell not giving him that pitch. He had the double stare, double down. Let's see why.
It's a base hit. Dexter up with the baseball. Laird's coming home, and the throw is not going to get him. So the Rockies have now given up a 3rd run here in the 4th inning. A 2-out single by Schaefer scores Laird, and that stolen base looms really large.
Just trying to create some offense. They did that when they got Laird to second. Sinker running away. Well out of the reach of Tulowitzki. When it first hit from up here, it looked like maybe a chance to get to it, but not there. And then the throw from Dexter, nowhere on time. For a guy that never hit a whole bunch, he takes a pretty healthy hack. Talking about Tehran.
Well, there's a base hit for Tehran.
Said about controlling innings. Garland's done a pretty good job of that. The 1-out walk, the home run, and a base hit, base hit, base hit. So trying to get this final out here in the 4th. .27 to work through 3 for John Garland. He's thrown 23 here in this inning. Different results going on.
He doubled and hit a comebacker. Ramiro in the Yankees organization last year was briefly in the big leagues. Most of the year was spent at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Just his second start of the year. Started Sunday in Pittsburgh. Garland's thrown almost as many pitches this inning as he did his first 3, so you get him out of the inning. 2-run home run Juan Francisco, RBI single Jordan Schaefer. The Braves are up 3-1.
AT&T trivia question. Sorry guys, I thought there was a multiple choice up there when I asked what Rockies pitcher has the most RBIs as a batter in franchise history. You had said Mike Hampton, and I thought I was going to read Cook and also Bohannon and also Jason Jennings. So who would you pick out of those?
Bohannon.
Jennings.
Jennings is the answer with 25.
I just wanted Mighty Bo to feel good.
What do I win?
You win a high five.
Again?
Just for you. Hey, so it goes Jennings 25, Bohannon and Hampton with 21, Astacio, Cook 19, and De La Rosa with 17. And De La Rosa has an RBI every year as a Rocky. Who knew?
Well, you know what? De La likes to swing the bat.
Yeah. Chacin's at 9, so he's about to get into double figures. And he had that sac fly, his first of his career the other day.
Oh, Mark, that's beautiful that you bring up Jhoulys Chacin, because earlier today he was throwing. And when I say throwing, he wasn't throwing a bullpen. He was playing catch out in the outfield. I chatted with him, and of course he's on the disabled list. And he said it feels much better. The MRI showed it was in the the back area and a little bit in the lat area in terms of a muscle strain. And he hopes to be able to make a start, a rehab start, prior to coming off the disabled list. And is working right now under the assumption that it will be a 2-week injury, not something that lingers on. This ball's in the air to right field off the bat of Rutledge. Reed Brignac.
Well, for the best ticket values in the ballpark, purchase a mini plan available for 15 to 20 games. Make sure you get that taken care of.
I'm impressed with this kid, His ability to throw strikes consistently. Came in having walked 7 in 16 innings. And 2 strikes on Brignac. Hasn't walked anybody in the game. He's given up 6 hits, but all singles. Two outs. That'll bring up Yorvi Torrealba here in the 4th. Ball's well hit center field, but Upton will get back and make the catch, and it's a quick and efficient 1, 2, 3, 4th inning for Julio Teheran. 3-1 Atlanta. On this homestand yesterday. That's why it's a day-night doubleheader. And everybody's bundled up. Game time temperature tonight was actually 7 degrees warmer than it was this afternoon. Tonight at first pitch it was 30 degrees. First pitch at 1:10 this afternoon, 23 degrees. It's our Toyota Talk inning. B.J. Upton, Justin Upton, Freddie Freeman for Atlanta. John Garland was cruising until the 4th, and with 1 out, he walked Freeman, gave up a 2-run home run to Francisco, and later an RBI single to Jordan Schaefer. First question: what's worse, cold weather like this or 100+ degrees with the Midwest humidity on turf? Fortunately, not many turf fields left. But George, what do you think, man? You played both.
Hey, I prefer the not 30 but 45-degree temperature than I do the 135 on the turf. When I was playing, the only grass fields that were around there, and then nationally was Wrigley Field. Everything else was turf, and it was hot, miserable. I like to play when it's 45, 55 degrees. I really do.
Well, we need a heat wave to get up to that. Upton takes the ball. It's 1-1. You explain how to read the away game scoreboard in right field? You know, that's a great question, and we get that a lot. Obviously, you know the scores are in yellow. The numbers on the right are the pitcher in the game, or if it's a final, the pitcher of record. So in other words, we'll say, I don't know who 33 is for the Cubs. if you're at the ballpark, or you can look it up online, you know, and you buy a scorecard, it'll give the rosters of everybody else. You look up and you say the Cubs 33, okay, that's so-and-so in the game. Uh-oh, this ball's hit a ton to left. He's got a twist foul, and it does not. Home run. B.J. Upton with his 3rd home run of the year, and it is 4-1 Atlanta. That's his first hit this afternoon. And there to greet him is his brother. They've done that before.
Well, you know, that's kind of lifts a little bit off the shoulders, even though the average is way down. Slider. He stayed to the inner half of the plate, did not get away. You can see Torrealba's glove work back. See how the pancaked out tells you the pitch didn't get where they wanted it to go.
And Justin Upton goes back to back with his brother. 3rd time this year already that the Upton brothers have hit a home run in the same game. That's his 11th.
This is what they hoped for. You know, Frank Wren and everybody in Atlanta, when they got these 2 guys, that they would bring this in and do the job that they do, and they've done it. Fastball ran right back to the middle of the plate, and Upton just with his power can do a lot of different things. It is contagious with this lineup.
On the receiving line of the wedding, man. He hasn't even gotten through there yet. 5-1 Atlanta. He's off to some kind of start. Just like I taught you. You know, when BJ was playing on a travel team growing up in Chesapeake, Virginia, with David Wright, Ryan Zimmerman, BJ Upton, all on the same team. And the bat boy, George, was Justin. But they all knew that he had freakish talent, because when he was 14, Justin Upton was voted as the top 14-year-old player in the country. Soft line out. That's to Brignac. They're going to keep the shift on with Francisco coming up. Again, to finish the question on the out-of-town scoreboard. So you have a roster and you look up the numbers on the right, and you'll know who is pitching for each respective team. So there you know that Milwaukee's got 49 starting and San Diego has 33 starting. I'd give you the names. I don't have it in front of me. 18 I know is Matt Cain. He's going tonight for the Giants. Matt has struggled so far this year. Garland hits the outside corner on Francisco. What's the most hitter-friendly ballpark in baseball? Well, Jenny, a lot of people would say you're looking at it. And it's not necessarily the home run factor. It's that the outfield is the largest in baseball, so a lot of balls drop. A lot of ground to cover. And statistics, more importantly than opinion, will bear that out. 1-2. No, called strike by Wally Bell. 2 outs.
Pounded him in. The last time got a little elevated. He hit a home run. This time John really got on top and drove this pitch, thinking on that breaking ball. See how he cleared that out going this way with that front side? The minute he did, see that kind of circle wrap that he does with that leg, that front leg? Once he committed to clear, he just let the ball pass. He thought it was going to be a slider inside, and it ran back for a strike.
Laird singled, stole a base, and scored last inning. That's a strike. 1-1.
Well, the stole a base, it was helped with the fact that it was a hit and run. The guy fell all the way across home plate, and they never interfered with Toriyama's throw, but it obviously delayed or eyesight interfered with a little bit of it. See, I like for a catcher in hit and run situations, things like that, particularly a couple of outs, to hold his position behind the plate, because a lot of times they'll pop up to catch to throw, and they block an umpire's view. They don't see the ball or a strike, so they naturally 9 out of 10 times call it a ball. Call slider. Pretty much right where he wanted to on a 2-2 count. Just didn't get a bite from it.
That Upton home run is 11. It's a new franchise record for home runs in the month of April for a Brave. Short left field, Young coming on. He's got it. 2 more runs in the inning on the back-to-back home runs by BJ and Justin Upton. 5-1 Braves. Atlanta. Rockies trying to remove the clouds on this afternoon. They lost 4-3 earlier. Now in the 5th inning, they're down by 4 runs. Thanks again for texting in your questions to Toyota Talk. For more answers to your questions, visit the Root Sports Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRM. Tracy Ringlesby will answer at least one more Toyota Talk question before the end of the game. John Garland will lead it off at the top of the order. Rockies got 6 hits and a run in the first 3 innings against Tehran, but as I stated last inning, all singles. There have been a lot of hard hit balls against Julio Tehran, who in 52 pitches, George has thrown 42 strikes.
Yeah, and that's not that's a little unusual for him. Kind of expect him to start not pounding the strike zone.
You're wondering how this young kid was going to handle Coors Field and the cold weather for the first time. I know on the Braves side, they were not only curious, but probably concerned. Some of the people we talked to, and he's been outstanding.
What he's done is he's really kept moving on the mound, and you notice there's not a lot of time spent in between each pitch. I mean, our hitters are stepping out to delay a little bit of that to try to get him out of his rhythm.
Redirected to short. And Garland's out. If you keep a book, that's 1-6-3.
Hitting the road? Well, subscribe to MLB.tv to see every Rockies out-of-market game online and on your favorite devices in HD quality when you're not at home. So go to Rockies.com, sign up, check out the Rockies baseball.
UI had an infield hit and has scored the Rockies' only run. He's got a base hit in 6 of his last 7. 357 average during that period of time. He takes a strike. One ball, one strike. Just the second time this year the Rockies have lost back-to-back ball games. First time was when they were swept in San Francisco. And that's a base hit for Junior, his second of the ball game.
It's not only quick feet, it's also quick hand out of the glove. You know, a lot of guys will get long arm when they pull it out of the glove. When you do that, obviously you delay the time, but he's very, very quick to first base in all phases of it.
Fowler's 2 for 2 in the game, 2 for 4 this afternoon.
See the lead of EY on the right. And watch that front foot. So he's pretty quick when he goes. Even though it's a high leg kick, it is a quick leg kick. So he's still in the 125, 135 range to the plate.
And you really, unless you had somebody really slow to the plate, George, down 4 runs, even with EY's quickness, he didn't figure to go anywhere. Well, he takes off the minute I say that, and the throw to second is not going to get him.
See, the only reason I would say he would go, Drew, and that's not after the fact, is because they're in the middle of the game, and that's his game. Speed is his game, and that's why he's at the top. And that's the only reason I would say that he would try it there to continue to play his game. I mean, that's why they got him hitting leadoff. Steal bases, get into scoring position. 2 now in the year for him.
Boy, that was close.
Now, the ball was bobbled, it looked like to me, when it got up there with Simmons. He didn't hang on to it very well. See, he dropped to one knee like he was going to make. Oh, his spikes went out from under it, didn't it? See, he's bobbling the ball, hunting for it. Not sure where it is. I think it stayed in his glove. Never left his glove. He's kind of looking around for it. But that spike going out from underneath him, that cost him.
Dexter hits it in the air to right field. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Tulowitzki, 0 for 2. Strikeout and a flare to short. Have auto glass damage? Call Safelite Auto Glass, America's vehicle glass experts. 303-287-5000, online at safelite.com. Sliders off the plate, ball 1. 17 RBIs among the league leaders for Tulowitzki. And he pops this one up shallow center field. B.J. Upton telling his brother, "I've got it," and he does. Young left at second through 5 innings. The Braves lead it 5-1.
And Mark Stout joined by Katie Stripmatter. Now, you might recognize that name, Stripmatter. If you're a Rockies fan, you should, because Mark Stripmatter, her husband, is the Rockies roving catching instructor, and he was a Rocky. But Katie, tell us why you're here in the upper deck.
I'm here in the upper deck tonight for the Parkinson's Association of the Rockies. We all got together on this cold night. We're trying to promote the walk on June 2nd. It's the Vitality Walk. We're hoping to get 1,200 people to come out and walk with us. It's 2,000 steps for Parkinson's, $30 to register. The kids went out with me last year. We had a great time. So come on out. It's at Wash Park, June 2nd, Saturday. It'll be a really fun day.
That'll be at 9 in the morning, and we'll have a website for you as well. And that website, it's ParkinsonRockies.org.
ParkinsonRockies.org. Mm-hmm.
So that's coming up. So when did you find out that you were diagnosed with Parkinson's?
It's been about 3 years. We formed a support group through the Parkinson's Association. We started out with just 2 of us, and there are now about 20 young people. So great things. They do great things for people with Parkinson's. All the resources are free. So there's a lot of help out there for people that need it.
And I know meeting Ben Petrick last year, it's not a disease that usually hits young people. Have you talked to Ben at all?
I talk to Ben all the time. He's a huge support to me and to my family. He reaches out to everybody that contacts him, an author. He has a book out. He's just a really courageous human being, a great person to know.
Well, thank you, Katie. Again, it's June 2nd, Wash Park, 9 a.m. It's the Vitality Walk. We'll have the website for you. Hopefully you can help out. Mark, by the way, is taken off. He's going back out on the road, the roving instructor. And by the way, you're the guy that wore 22 after Walt Weiss left here and went to the Braves for that 1 year. So I love that. So Mark and Katie are here and enjoying the game from the upper deck, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, good luck to Katie with that. And there's Stritty and their family. There's Sean on the left.
They're all out at the yard.
I know. You know, Mark Stout was saying, Stritty just got off the road. He is a terrific teacher of catching, and he helped Rosario this spring as well. First year back in the organization, was with Clint the last couple of years.
He's headed to Tulsa actually Thursday. Friday he's going to come into town and check on Gonzalez and Garneau, 2 catchers there in Tulsa.
The Rockies in their system have some of the better young catching prospects in the game. Murphy, who's hurt right now in Asheville, at the University of Buffalo, is well thought of. Very well thought of. Hits for a lot of power. One and one on Jordan Schaefer. Simmons draws a throw from Garland. Two and one.
Josh Outman has started to throw down in the Rockies bullpen. Scahill went 3, Escalano 2. They did not give up a run in the first one, so Outman is the long man this time in the bullpen, him and Ottavino.
Three and one. Atlanta last year won 94 games. A wild card team. They continue to be in the same division as Washington, and Washington had their best record in baseball.
And Washington was losing tonight 2-0 to the St. Louis Cardinals. They still are. It's over with now. Cardinals do Wainwright.
Garland now has two guys on. The pitcher coming up, nobody out, and the Rockies already trailing by 4. It's the top of the 6th inning.
Typically, a manager will let them throw to this pitcher because it's obvious sacrifice bunt situation.
3 walks tonight, which matches the total for the first 3 games by John Garland. About the Oakland A's, not only are they pitching this year, they were a huge surprise last year, but they're scoring a boatload of runs. They did it again tonight at Fenway. They won 13-0. Runners moving. Nope, fouled off. Rockies put the wheel play on. Good speed on base. You have Simmons at second and Schaefer at first. There's Terry Pendleton, former hitting coach with the Braves, former batting champion. He's been with Atlanta forever.
Greg Walker, now their hitting coach. Scott Fletcher, former infielder, is the assistant hitting coach.
Two strikes on Turan. And he gets the bunt down. Yep. Atlanta's hit home runs today, George. They've also done the little things. They've got sack bunts down. They've played really good defense.
Playing 27 outs. That's what they like to talk about. Play all 27 for Freddie Gonzalez, and a lot of good things can happen. And right now they're doing it.
You have to bring the infield in, trailing by 4 runs here in the 6th inning. Ramiro Pena at the plate. No announcement yet from the Rockies as to who will pitch tomorrow.
Rumor has it Chatwood would be the guy brought up. Now, he was obviously last night they were postponed. Tonight they're postponed. The rumors are just that, rumors.
Two and one on Ramiro Pena. Rockies will leave tomorrow after the ball game against Atlanta. Head to Phoenix. They'll take on the Diamondbacks 4 times: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they will continue on to Los Angeles and play the Dodgers in a 3-game set beginning Monday. 3-1 on Pena, and another walk, ball 4. And now you're into B.J. Upton again. 4 walks allowed by Garland.
I thought if Walt was going to make a move there, it would probably have been. Jimmy Wright's going to go out and talk now as Walt is talking with Tommy Runnels. Jimmy's going to go out and visit with him. See how John feels. I know you're not feeling very good. You're losing 5-1 right here. Come out and try to get your ground ball out. Outman's loose in the bullpen.
Middle infield will drop back, trying to turn 2 up the middle. Tough guy doubling B.J. Upton. Pacheco will play a couple steps behind the bag at third. At third base, he's Simmons. He singled. Schaefer walked, and Pena walked. Should get a run home. Dexter lining up to throw. 6-1 on the sac fly by B.J. Upton. His 5th RBI, 2nd of the night. Justin Upton hit one off the back wall of the Rockies bullpen his last time up. He hit one to dead center field in inning number 1 of the afternoon affair. He knew it.
So to everybody else that's watching here at the ballpark, for a right-hander, he got after that one pretty good.
Justin, for the most part, lived a charmed baseball life. Told you when he was 14, he was named the top 14-year-old in the country. Same thing when he was 15. And then after his senior year of high school, in which he hit over 600, he was named the Gatorade National Player of the Year. And then he was drafted 1st overall in the draft.
Some guys get their draft status changed with a lot of hype, with a lot of different promoting, of going to different camps, different things of that nature, showcases. This guy was the real deal. There wasn't any hype behind this one.
And he's been the real deal in the big leagues. Just missed.
Much more disciplined hitter than what I've seen in the past. A more defined strike zone, trying to throw the sinker and get it in underneath the hands, get him to swing, if not, get the strike called. But it's off the plate. You can see that on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mode.
His career high in home runs is 31 2 years ago. This is in the air to center field. He's got 11 already. Dexter makes the catch. Another run for Atlanta. Middle of 6th, they're up 6-1. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And by the Honey Smoked Fish Company. Secrets in the fire. It's a ready-to-eat superfood. Got to be pretty hardy to be at Coors Field this day. We saw snowmen last week, and there's a whole family of snowmen, George.
They're all hanging out, aren't they?
Yeah, they have good views.
All the way up there in the rock pile somewhere, right or left, not sure which way.
Yeah, Rockies have to start getting things going offensively. Just 3 runs in the first game in a 4-3 defeat, and right now they're down 6-1 as they come to hit in the 6th inning. Kadire, Pacheco, Rutledge. Kadire's driven in the only run for the Rockies tonight. A single back in the 3rd inning to plate Eric Young. Julio Teheran has had the Rockies' number. He's allowed 7 singles tonight, and he's been ahead of virtually every hitter. Ball is in the air to right, and it is caught by Schaefer. Told you earlier he's a center fielder by trade, and he looked like one on that play.
It's all about getting breaks and reads, and when you're playing on a hard hit ball like that, they have the ability to catch the baseball. He broke immediately off of the bat, and then it's just hope to get to the spot. And that's exactly what he did. Nice catch. Another masked man robs the Rockies of a hit.
A lot of masked men running around. Pacheco's 1 for 2. He takes a strike. I don't know if there's been a better franchise, George, the last 2 decades in developing pitchers than the Atlanta Braves. There's a solid single for Pacheco.
Second hit for Pacheco. You remember back in the second, he won't want to remember it, but he had a base hit and picked off at first base. Rutledge starting to swing the bat a little better. Base hit in this ball game. Rutledge average up to 243 now. Pacheco gets an inside fastball, base hit. One thing Turan has been able to do is retire the leadoff man every single inning. What it does kind of prevents Walt Weiss from putting on a lot of hit and runs, a lot of bunt and runs.
Rutledge beat the throw. You want to hear a tremendous number? Turan tonight, as you look at the attempted turn, 17 of 23 first pitch strikes.
Well, there's the turn. Rutledge hustle, beat it out again. A little bit of that lately. Right, and along with those same things you're talking about, first pitch strikes, like I just mentioned, all 6 innings, he's got the leadoff man out. This is the guy that won 15 games in AAA a couple of years ago, not the guy that went 7-9 with a 5.
Reed Brignac, another first pitch strike. And a ground ball to second. Payne has got it. And again, the Rockies go quietly. We move to the 7th inning. It's 6-1 Atlanta. Three long balls in the first game to win 4-3. And they've done the same thing in game 2. Juan Francisco, a 2-run home run. That wiped down an early 1-0 lead for the Rockies. The 5th inning, it was the brothers Upton, BJ. And then Justin Upton, literally about 30 seconds later, to right center field. 6 home runs in the doubleheader for the Atlanta Braves. Cooney Lexus, where luxury has an address, coming to Greenwood Village this spring. Double switch. Johnny Herrera is in at third base. Brignac goes out. Josh Outman is the new pitcher. Garland gives up 6 runs in 6 innings on 10 hits. He walked 4, which is very unusual for John.
Last year, Josh Outman made 27 game appearances, 7 of those by start, 1 and 3 high earned run average. Walked a lot, struck out a few. 1 per inning. It gave up 7 home runs. They went down to Tulsa worked as a starter there and really pitched well the last month of the season there, and then carried it over into September in Colorado.
First pitch in there to Freddie Freeman for a strike. See a couple lefties initially, and Freeman and Francisco, and then Gerald Laird. Slider and a nasty one. Take a look at news and notes around Major League Baseball. More bad news for the Dodgers pitching staff, George. Chad Billingsley will have to undergo Tommy John surgery. That will come tomorrow. He is out for the year, obviously. And they lost Greinke, as you know, a week ago.
And they got rid of their surplus with Harang gone in the trade.
Capuano got hurt also.
Capuano got hurt. And Lily's kind of going to have to jump in now after the last week. They wanted to go to the bullpen and refused to go.
Carlos Quentin returning tonight. Derek Jeter in walking boot. He's still a ways off, though. 0-1 on Juan Francisco. 0-2 on Juan Francisco. Dodgers are leading in the ninth inning in New York 7-2 over the Mets. Mark Ellis has hit a pair of home runs in that game. This is slowly hit to second, and nice play by Rutledge.
Hey, don't forget about May 5th. Big day again. You just got through seeing Eric Young Sr.'s bobblehead. Now it's going to be that guy right there, Vinny Castilla. He's getting a bobblehead day here at the ballpark. May 5th, Tampa's in town. 303 Rockies or Rockies.com/bobble to get your tickets for Vinny's Day that day. Trying to see how many they're going to give out that day. It looks like they're giving out a whole bunch. It doesn't say on the read there, Drew. They gave away, what, 20,000 of EYs. I'm sure it's the same for Vinny.
Gerald Laird. Brewers leading the Padres 3-2. That game in the second inning at Petco. Diamondbacks leading at AT&T over the Giants 2-0.
By the way, it is 20,000 Vinny Castilla bobbleheads.
0-2 Outman ahead of Laird. Cardinals shut out the Nationals at Nationals Park today 2-0 behind Adam Wainwright, who's now 4-1. Pirates won again. They beat the Phillies 2-0. Beat Cole Hamels. He hasn't won yet this year. You know that, George? He's 0-3. Really, our old friend Jason with his 8th save.
And how about that? The Phillies had an opportunity to call him up, or he could opt out if he could sign with a 25-man with another big league team and be put on the 25-man roster a year ago. Well, they let him walk away from the contract, and he signed with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And that's the rest of the story.
And he was great last year in a setup role in Joel Hanrahan. Departed.
You know, he got traded. They felt comfortable giving Greeley the closer's role. Well, it's paid off.
And he did well last year late in the season. Cubs at 10 beat the Reds 4-2. Outside. Indians in Chicago against the White Sox. They were postponed. Yankees beat the Rays in Tampa 4-3 despite a home run from Longoria, his 5th. David Price got the loss. He's 0-2. Swung on and missed. And a good inning for Josh Outman. He's been impressive since his return from Colorado Springs. 6-1. Rockies will have Torrey Alba, Johnny Herrera, Eric Young. Rockies fans, our Jeff Houston will be taking over the Root Sports Twitter account this week. Jeff will be answering your questions during the third inning of tomorrow's ball game. Submit your questions to the Root Sports Twitter account at rootsports_RM. And if you do it now, we'll have them answered by Huey on Twitter tomorrow during the third inning. Huey will be a busy man tomorrow. Yorvi Torrealba, 0 for 2, a foul out and a fly ball to center field. Jeff's a little more technologically savvy than you.
Well, the deal with me is I just got this iPad thing, and I look up stuff what I want to look up, like minor league baseball. I look up Major League Baseball, trade rumors. I read the Denver Post, the Tulsa World every day. And I'm good with all that. I don't particularly want to tweet that I'm eating at Sam's at 8 in the morning.
I'll do that for you.
Or that I'm tweeting I'm headed to the ballpark today. Those kind of things. That's just me.
I'm kind of with you on that.
That's just me.
Here's the 1-0, and that's in there, a strike. Now, the story of this game, yeah, the home runs by Atlanta, and that's what'll get the headlines, but this kid's pitched a heck of a ball game.
7th inning. Got a 6-1 lead. He's thrown 75 pitches going into the 7th. Just 15 balls, 6+ innings right now. I think that's 17 balls. You tweet a little bit every now and then.
I tweet probably on average once a day.
What do you tweet?
Well, I
head to Starbucks?
No, I refuse to do that because that's not my thing yet. Either I'll tweet, give updates on what the Rockies are doing. I tweeted after the first game, quick synopsis of what happened.
That's a long tweet.
Well,
I thought tweets were supposed to be like 1 or 2 sentences.
You have 140 characters.
8 ground outs, 8 fly outs, and a strikeout. So put the ball in place with a pickoff on Pacheco earlier. What's that other thing? Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not.
Your kids into that yet?
Yeah, a little bit. Yep, absolutely. That's the generation. I think the wives are into it too. I think
keep up with the kids.
Yeah. I mean, and I should say that because Tehran, that's strike 3. Yorvi didn't like the call from Wally Bell, but I'm not as big into Facebook, but it's useful. Keeps you in touch.
Yep, slow-mo. Look at this on the Mike Shaw Subaru slow-mo. You came back into the plate. Torrealba turned thinking that ball was going to pretty much catch him there, but see how much of the plate it did catch. Boy, right along that corner right there, and he got the strike call.
That's just his second strikeout. First at bat for Johnny Herrera. Royals, Tigers, Georgia, Detroit were postponed because of rain.
Big storm went through that Midwest.
Yeah.
And it took off up a little bit to the northern part of the states and whacked them.
Baltimore over the Toronto Blue Jays 4-3. Johnson got his 8th save. Mentioned the A's won 13-0. That game in Boston was shortened to 7 innings because of rain. Seth Smith hit his second home run of the year for Oakland. Bartolo Colon won that game. He's 3-0. Twins over the Marlins 4-3.
I'm drawing a blank. Hey, Dougie, who was the guy at a 50-game suspension? Melky Cabrera. How's he doing in Toronto?
Pretty well. Colon, another guy that was suspended last year. I know that's why you thought of it. Freeman, 2 outs. If your windshield's been damaged, call Safelite Auto Glass 303-287-5000, online at safelite.com. Angels up 2-0 on the Rangers in the 3rd inning. That game in Anaheim. Junior, a couple of singles tonight. 2 outs, nobody on, and that's a strike.
By the way, Milky, 266, no home runs, 6 RBIs, scored 7 runs, and stole 2 bases.
Two. Strikes out EY, 2 punch outs and a 1-2-3-7. He has been the story. 6-1 Atlanta.
As we go to the 8th inning in favor of the Braves, Atlanta has hit 6 home runs in this doubleheader. And speaking of home runs, it was on this day 59 years ago when Hank Aaron, yes, the Hank Aaron, hit the first home run of his illustrious career. It came at Sportsman's Park in St. Louis off of Vic Raschi. He hit 13 home runs that rookie year when he was 20 years old. The first and the last both came off of Vic Raschi. 722 of his 755. You see the famous 714 coming as a Brave. And it was on this day, guys, where that first home run came. Boy, the great Hank Aaron. Good to think back with the Braves in town.
Where were you when he hit 715?
I was in Trenton, New Jersey, where I was born and raised, and Al Downing threw the pitch to him, and I was watching it on TV.
I remember watching it very well, and you remember him going around the bases and the 2 guys who came out of the stands running with him, and Amazing, amazing stuff. He remains a senior vice president of the Atlanta Braves and has been for a long, long time.
If I'm not mistaken, owns a couple of car dealerships in Atlanta.
On the ground is short. And Tulowitzki throws out Simmons. Outman is retired all 4 he's faced. Jordan Schaefer coming up. Jeff Houston making his way in the booth. Do you need help?
Hey, you're going to tweet tomorrow.
Yeah. Do you need any help with that,
Fun.
answering those questions? You're just answering?
I think you tweet.
I just read Huey tweeted a little while ago that he had the chef salad
He's making
for dinner.
up stuff now. See how you make stuff up?
Chef salad for dinner, and that you're going to go to Starbucks tomorrow morning. Nice. Oh, very nice. Warm and toasty out there in center field.
Did you just come up to see how cold it really was? Is that what you were doing? Okay, it's cold.
Two strikes on Schaefer. He's 2 for 2 and a walk. How about the guys playing right field for Freddie Gonzalez today? Reed Johnson, who had great numbers coming in, by the way, against John Garland, didn't get the start. He was 4 for 4 in the first game, and that's the first time a right fielder's made an out for the Braves today.
Well, I tell you, impressive thing about Josh Outman, 15 or 18 pitches, 15 strikes. He's thrown 3 balls.
Tyler Pasternicki is going to pinch hit for Tehran.
Yeah, he just got here.
He's here again because Jason Hayward had an emergency appendectomy last night here in Denver and was placed on the disabled list naturally. He's resting comfortably. Everything went well. Pasternicki hits the ball to right field. Nice job again by Outman. 2 scoreless, 1-2-3 innings, 6-1 Atlanta.
Put your clothes on, boys.
Tehran got pinch hit for. So the Atlanta Braves go into their bullpen. This is Gearin. Corey Gearin making his 10th appearance of the year. And Dexter takes strike one.
Low three-quarter guy. I mean, he could get on top if he needs to against left-handers. A lot of ground ball outs.
When was the last time you remember an Atlanta Brave team that didn't have a sidewinding right hander? Just somebody who was a little funky, George. I mean, they've always had a guy on the right side also. You know, you always talk about situational lefties. They've always had kind of a situational righty.
Always have. I mean, it's, you know, take a look at it right now. You can just see him come out of that. All he's trying to do is flip up sinkers on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. You can see that good sinker rotation. He came up quick too. Signed in 2007, the 4th round draft pick. Got to the big leagues in 2011, pitched in 18 games, real high earned run average, gave up a lot of runs. No home runs, but walked a few guys, 12. Then he went to Gwinnett again in 2012, start the year, 39 games pitched really well. 230, was a preseason AAA All-American. I mean, on the All-Star team in AAA. He came to Atlanta and pitched in 22 games. It was impressive, 180 earned run average. Has always been a setup man. All the way back to AA, coming all the way through to Atlanta.
You go way back. Roger McDowell, after his years with the Mets, showed up there. Tulowitzki chases, 2 outs. Sidewinder, Peter Boylan for a long time.
He's still pitching.
Yep. Sidewinder from down under. CenturyLink, what's next? Tim Hudson tomorrow will make his 5th start. Over 200 victories in his career. Tyler Chatwood will make the start for the Rockies. That we've been told is official. So he'll come back up, George, throwing the baseball well at Colorado Springs. And he will make that spot start, or maybe a couple of them, with the Chassin on the disabled list. See how it plays out after tomorrow, but it will be Chatwood tomorrow afternoon. 2 outs, nobody on, 1 strike pitch to Kadire. Michael 1 for 3, or RBI single in the 3rd. And this is fought off into right field, a base hit for Kadire. Pacheco has 2 of the Rockies' 9 hits tonight. All of the hits have been singles for Colorado. Rockies in the first game had only 6 hits. They did get a triple from Fowler. Kadire had a leg double. So 15 hits in the ball game, George, 13 singles. In the 2, I should say, the 2 ball games. Popped up. Pena waiting. And the Rockies are done in the 8th inning. 6-1 Atlanta. been a tough day at the ballpark for the Rockies. They're losing as we start the ninth inning, 6-1. Coming up after the ball game, the Toyota postgame report anchored by Jenny Kavnar. Jenny?
A tough day indeed, Drew, but guess what? That's why we're going to have a musical theme for you on the Toyota postgame show. I'll have some backup singers with me, or perhaps dancers. We're going to start with Annie, Get Your Gun. I'm talking a little anything you can do, I can do better. That would be the Upton brothers. BJ Upton with his third home run today. Every time he's homered this year, his brother Justin has to steal that spotlight right back. He has home run number 11 today, but it was the second time in MLB history that brothers have gone back-to-back jacks. We will also be talking a little putting on the hits. I'm talking about Dexter Fowler today. 4 hits for him. He rose his batting average 46 points, and he can't talk musicals without talking Annie. Tomorrow, Drew and George, bet your bottom dollar 2 things. Number 1, there's going to be some sun, because this is Colorado, and we get 300 days of that here. And number 2, well, it'll be a fresh start for the Colorado Rockies.
I like that, Jenny.
Thanks.
Tomorrow.
I knew you'd sing. I knew someone would sing. It just wasn't going to be me. So keep going.
You know what? The people at home are saying, better you than me. Here's Pena, and that's the first hit allowed by Josh Outman. First base runner allowed by Josh Outman. B.J. Upton coming up. He was 2 for 26 when he homered in the 5th inning. He had a sac fly in the 6th inning. And that's a good shot of his brother Justin, who also homered right behind him in the 5th inning, getting ready to go. You heard Michael Kadire talking about growing up with the Uptons, growing up with BJ, coaching little bit, coaching third base for BJ's AAU team at one point. And he said the Upton's dad, Manny, was one of Michael's coaches along the way. Manny played football and baseball at Norfolk State and has been a long time, George, NCAA referee. In fact, he's worked the Sweet 16 a couple of times. A retired teacher. And now they do a lot of traveling around, following the boys playing baseball. 2 balls and a strike on BJ. Pena first. Kadire's got a long run.
Colorado Rockies home run for the homeless is the 5K is on Sunday, May 12th. Go to therockies.com/5K and get the information about the run coming up. Padres will be in town, and it's on Sunday, May 12th.
That's a good day. That's my oldest birthday.
You have a youngest birthday? Oh, you meant your oldest son's birthday.
That's right. Jacob's birthday.
15, right?
That's right. Number 15. BJ's gone. That'll bring up Justin. George, what a job by Outman. Assuming he gets through this 9th inning, and even if the Rockies don't produce a hellacious rally, you have saved the bullpen because the Rockies don't have an off day for another week. A little more than a week, actually.
How about the job the bullpen's done today? 7 1/3 innings right now, just 4 hits, no runs so far in this doubleheader. They've been outstanding.
And Rob Scahill was terrific in the first game. Escalona was excellent. That's Outman's 4th strikeout in 2 1/3.
Well, he can do that. I mean, he's got the type of power arm to get rid of some people quickly.
Too many teams feature 2 lefties that throw in the mid-90s. This ball's driven to left center field, and Ewai can't get it. He's going to have to play it off the wall. Pena is going to get a green light, and he's going to come home. It's an RBI double for Justin Upton, and it's 7-1 Atlanta. Upton with 16 driven in. I would say he's a very strong candidate for Player of the Month. Well, Player of the Game, Player of the Month, even though there's a week left in April.
Yeah, look at the ball here, going to be down and away from him. That's the thing for me. He has been able to expand his strike zone and really have a lot of success doing it, and doing it with a lot of authority.
Freddie Freeman's 0 for 3 and a walk. So our first glance at this Atlanta team that got off to a 12-1 start, and it's really impossible not to be impressed by them. And I say that not just because they're on the verge of sweeping the Rockies in this doubleheader, but they have outstanding starting pitching. They have a tremendous bullpen. And though the lineup's going to strike out some, there's going to be a little feast and famine. It's a lineup that can hurt you up and down the lineup. When they get Hayward back, and think about when they get McCann back also.
Big bats, but I mean, Gaddis obviously swung the bat, 6 home runs so far. Johnson's playing well in right field tonight, had a really good job.
Chris Johnson's leading baseball in hitting.
Freeman swinging the bat again. I mean, he hadn't been back that long, but he's really swung the bat well. They've got the parts to be very successful and challenge the Washington Nationals in the National League East.
3-1 on Freeman. Ottavino's up.
Wilton Lopez.
Excuse me. Now we have a shot of him. Yep, Wilton Lopez. What's going on? Wally Bell's taking his mask off. Is stuff being thrown on the field? Is that somebody threw a snowball in the direction of Terry Pendleton? Not a good idea. Ball 4. And that'll bring up Francisco. Strike on Francisco. Justin Upton's at second. Freddie Freeman at first. 1 out in the ninth. 7-1 Braves. Rockies been out hit 12-9. What a perfect name to be a big league pitcher. Josh Outman. Man. Chacin, who we were chatting about earlier, playing catch before the ball game, which is great news, will accompany the Rockies on this road trip. Warm weather climate, it's easier to get your work in there anyway. Pull the first baseman Pacheco down the right field line. Justin Upton will score. Freddie Freeman at third. He'll stop there. It's an RBI double for Francisco. He's got a 3-ribby night. And it's 8-1 Atlanta.
And I won a few times too. Josh Outman has been extended beyond 2 innings. At AAA level, there was a lot of inning and 2/3, 2 1/3 type situation. So he's getting himself extended out pretty good. You can see it on the Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mo. That shot just past Pacheco at first, and I think Walt Weiss realizing at the 37 pitch total, it's probably about time to get Outman out of the ball game. And he'll make that move and go get the right-hander out of the bullpen. Wilton Lopez is headed in.
8-1 Atlanta. Scoring position, 1 out. Stay connected this season by following Root Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We want to hear from you as the Rockies embark on this 2013 season. Get online and tell us which game has been your favorite to watch so far. Field in, Wilton Lopez to Gerald Laird. Chance, George, for Wilton Lopez to regather himself a little bit. Obviously, he's started off, for the most part, in a rough manner. He's hit 450 against him. He has a couple of decent outings, but...
Oh, they got Wally right on the arm. Right on the arm. He got hit there not too long ago. Matter of fact, that opening series in Milwaukee, Keith Thurman will come out and check him and make sure he's all right. Look, this is going to catch him right on the arm. Trying to throw the sinker, but got it elevated a little bit. Foul ball. A direct shot right on that bicep.
And that sinker, George, has kind of been the story for Lopez so far this year. It's elevated and it flattens out.
Throwing a lot of four-seam fastballs for whatever reason. I had a conversation with Wilton the other day. Now going to an awful lot of the two-seam fastballs, back to what's his bread and butter, get the ball on the ground. Trying to get ahead with the four-seam, I was getting hit early.
One and one on Laird. Inside 2-1. Base hit, and that'll score 2.
Yeah, and the worst part about it is it's going to make the line look pretty ugly for Josh Allen, unfortunately.
That'll close the book on Outman. He pitched 2 perfect innings. He's going to end up giving up 4 runs in 2 1/3. And you're right. You know, look at it in the paper tomorrow. People will assume he didn't pitch well, and he actually, until he kind of ran out of gas here in this 3rd inning of relief work, and pitched very well. Well, the problems continue for Lopez. That was sharply struck.
Well, some of the big statistics I look at for relief pitchers, you know, different for different areas of the game. Coming in here, it's inherited runners. You know, how many inherited runners do you score or allowed to score? And I like to see it around the 65 to 70 percentile of not scoring, and you're in pretty good shape. The other part is maintaining a game when you come into it. Scahill did a great job of that as Kelowna. For the most part, Outman for 2 innings. But it's how you handle the game. First batter efficiency is another very important statistic for me coming out of the bullpen.
Jordan Schaefer with 2 outs, 4 runs in the 9th, 10-1 Atlanta. Schaefer 2 singles, a walk, also a strikeout. Came against Outman last inning. Strike on Jordan Schaefer, and he rolls this one to second. 4 runs in the inning on 4 hits for Atlanta. Braves leading 10-1. Message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more for the Rockies Taco Special. Text the word taco to 720-720. And when the Rockies do score at least 7, Taco Bell and Root Sports will donate $250 to the Colorado I Have a Dream Foundation. Jordan Walden, a very hard throwing right-hander, will handle the 9th inning. It'll be the 7th appearance for Walden, who's touched triple digits with his fastball.
It can be explosive, no question. 83% that first battery efficiency we're talking about. He'll get a shot at Rutledge.
Reed Johnson is in left field for Justin Upton. Saw Chris Nelson in the on-deck circle. The pitcher spot's a 7th spot. So after Rutledge, Nelson will hit. Second. Chris Nelson now will take his turn, hitting for the pitcher. Nelson started game 1. Chris was 0 for 3 in game 1. $21,724 have braved the extreme cold temperatures tonight. Two guys in their bullpen that have touched 100 this year. Kimbrel and this guy, Walden.
Walden, a closer with the California Angels, and then lost that job a year ago. Atlanta very happy to have him. Atlanta always has a good bullpen. Players after a long doubleheader like this, they'll sleep pretty comfortably. Tonight, when this thing gets over, they'll try to come in and salvage one tomorrow. This ball's hit well.
Yeah, this ball's driven to deep right field, and oh, he's done it again. Schaefer with his second outstanding running catch of a ball over his head.
Well, like I said on the first one, it's all about break off the bat, angles on the ball. He does this very well on this ball. Even hesitated a little bit. And just ran back to the spot, made the catch. And as you can see, gets on that warning track, knows exactly how much space he has, and makes the play.
Torrealba takes a strike. What makes this a particularly long day, George, is that it's a short turnaround. You play a day game tomorrow.
Well, and you lose two. I mean, it's a tough pill to swallow coming in. You wish the weather would have been a little nicer, but both teams played in the same weather.
Rockies have done a great job keeping the ball in the park until these two games. Torrealba with a 2-out base hit. That's 6 home runs in the doubleheader. with a base hit. Rockies had given up just a dozen home runs coming into today's ball game. In their first 18. Today they've given up 6.
I think part of that conversation with Walden and Laird was, hey, they're teeing off first pitch fastball. Let's start out with something different. It was an off-speed pitch to Derek Young Jr. and he swung over the top of it.
A couple of hits today.
His average at 283 now.
A base hit. Torrealba will score 3 straight singles with 2 outs in the 9th, 10-2. 4th RBI for Eric Young.
That's just not trying to do too much with it. Just make solid contact, hope it finds a hole, and it did just that. Mike Shaw, Subaru Super Mode. See that pitch? That's a good pitch. Sinker down and away. A lot better job of hitting, though, than the pitch was thrown, because Ewing didn't try to do too much, didn't try to sink it. He just swung at it, took it right back up the middle.
Roger McDowell probably didn't expect to have to do this.
No, that probably didn't want to expect to have to get somebody up down in the bullpen either. They kind of have the same standard rule as a lot of guys do with short inning guys. You never let it get beyond 20, 25 pitches because you lose them for the next day. So Navarro, the right-hander, getting up down in their bullpen.
Brooks hits it in the air to Reed Johnson. This will end the game. Johnson has it, and the Braves have swept the Rockies in this doubleheader, 4-3 this afternoon, and going away in the evening affair 10-2. So Atlanta improves their major league best record to 15-5. The Rockies fall to 13-7. Julio Teheran, who was terrific, gets the victory. 7 innings, he allows a run on just 8 hits. And John Garland, who was 2-0 coming in, will absorb the loss. Tonight's Jimmy John's Freaky Fast delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's. The long ball, the story offensively again for Atlanta. It's been the story all year for them. Juan Francisco hit a 2-run home run early. And then the 2 big acquisitions in the offseason. The brothers Upton, BJ, 28-year-old senior by 3 years, to Justin. And Justin with his big league leading 11th home run of the year. They went back-to-back. 3rd time this year the Upton brothers have hit a home run in the same game. They end up hitting 6 in the doubleheader. Visit JimmyJohns.com to find a location near you. 10-2 is the final. Stick around. The Toyota postgame show is up next from here at cold Coors Field.